Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.
Greetings, fellow bubble junkies. I'm Jack, your favorite striped host, swimming to you from my luxury anemone suite, which I'm still paying off, by the way. Welcome to Talk to the Fish, where we will transform your diving game, or at least stop you from looking like an octopus at a knitting contest. Speaking of borrowed presents, but just in a studio, please welcome my guest, Regis, a diving instructor.
Hello everyone. Hello Jack.
Just don't steal the show by doing that constant circling of yours.
At least I'm not stuck playing the fool all day.
True, I do have a knack for clowning around. Listen, Regis, we've got a message from a viewer, Soul Survivor, asking, are the rebreathers just fancy gear for divers with more money than common sense? Well, I heard these things are so expensive, you might need to sell your teeth to afford one. No offense, Regis.
Well Jack, it's definitely the talk of the reef these days.
Let's start with the basics, Regis. What's this fancy recycling machine all about? I mean, apart from looking ready to walk on the moon before you even do your giant stride.
Well, imagine a tiny recycling air factory strapped to your back. It removes the waste, the carbon dioxide, and adds fresh oxygen so you can breathe it again. You exhale into the rebreather, the CO2 is scrubbed out, oxygen is added, and the recycled air goes back into a bag for your next breath.
So it's like having your very own air butler. Goes through your trash, tidies it up, and serves it back on a silver platter. But I hear there are different types.
Indeed. The main ones are closed-circuit rebreathers and semi-closed rebreathers.
Hold that up, Regis. Let's break it down for our viewers who might be scratching their heads like a confused crab. The first one was?
CCRs. They are like high-tech automated recycling plants. They precisely control oxygen levels in real time.
So a smart home of breathing systems. And the second one?
CCRs are simpler. They just add oxygen at a fixed rate. Less precise, but more straightforward.
I must say, both systems sound more sophisticated than my current breathing technique of gulp and go.
Let's talk benefits to convince you, Jack.
I love benefits. And our viewers are probably wondering if these high-tech gadgets are just for divers with a secret astronaut fantasy.
First, they're incredibly efficient with gas usage, giving you much longer dive time.
Yeah, you trade your old fish cart for a Tesla. Speaking of which, these rebreathers are pretty quiet too, right?
Absolutely. They produce far fewer bubbles than traditional scuba gear, less noisy and annoying for the reef life.
Yes. No more fish giving you the fin and swimming away with a, oh no, here comes the paparazzi with their bubble trails.
And don't forget the stealth factor. With fewer bubbles, you can get much closer to marine life without changing its behavior too much.
Though I must say, some of my neighbors could use a little more personal space awareness. I'm looking at you, Bob the Grouper.
You want another reason for rebreather?
Be my guest.
The breathing gas stays warmer and more humid, which is especially nice in cold water.
1 second, you're telling me it's like having heated seats for your lungs? With that, I could finally afford a budget-friendly anemone up in the Arctic.
Maybe those penguins will give you a discount for bringing some underwater comedy.
Heh. So Regis, what's the catch with rebreathers? I hear they're not all bubbles and fun.
Well, Jack, the first hurdle is mastering these complex units. Picture switching from driving a car straight to piloting an aircraft.
So you're saying my fins won't cut it anymore? I need wings to soar in this game.
And speaking of games, these units will make your wallet shrink faster a fish spotting a shark. We're talking luxury car territory here.
My bank account just got seasick hearing that. And maintenance is, obviously, a whole other kettle of fish.
Bingo! These babies need more attention compared to regular scuba gear, similar to a high-performance sports car, requiring constant tune-ups.
Next to my simple bubble-blowing lifestyle, sure, it's the VIP section of the ocean. What about the risks?
The oxygen levels need constant monitoring. Too much or too little can be dangerous. It's a powerful tool requiring serious respect.
So it's either sleeping with the fishes or flying above them? And I heard something about carbon dioxide too.
Right. If the scrubber fails, it's similar to breathing through a broken air filter. Plus, getting supplies in remote location can be tricky.
Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. These aren't for small fry, are they?
No. They're for experienced divers ready to embrace the responsibility and the adventure.
Before we drift away, Regis, give us your final thoughts without getting too deep.
Simple. Rebreathers let you swim closer to marine life without scaring them away with noisy bubbles. But maintaining these units requires more attention than a school of fish during feeding time.
And that concludes today's Talk to the Fish. I must say, today's episode was more technical as usual. Even my brain grew gills. Next week, we're diving into the mind-boggling mystery that's baffling the entire ocean. Why do jellyfish make terrible secret agents? Spoiler alert, it's not because they're too transparent. They just keep getting tangled up in their own tentacles. Until then, keep making bubbles, unless you're using a rebreather. In which case, stay silent and mysterious. This is Jack, your favorite clownfish with a splash of wisdom, signing off.
Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.